tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Hey, what's going on, my beautiful people? We are here. It's Thursday. Welcome inside the Black Actor Studio. I'm your host, Danny Royce, and joining me today is an incredibly talented queen. You've seen her in The Fosters, Black Lightning, Rebel, and most recently, John Henry starring Terry Crews and Ludacris. Please welcome the Black Actor Studio's very proud to have Miss Daffany Clark.
What's
good,
having
queen?
Me. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm here. I'm here.
Amen to that.
Welcome inside the Black Actor Studio. Thank you
you
so much for coming. It's a privilege to have you.
Oh my God, it's an honor. I was like, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm so
You're glowing
excited.
today. You're glowing.
Only for you, though.
I want to start off by saying congratulations on John Henry.
Thank you.
All right. You was gangster in there.
Well, what can I say?
How was that experience for you being on set with Terry Crews, Ludacris? Like, what was going through your mind?
It was a very surreal moment when I, of course, I'm on set with anyone of their talent and their caliber. So, I just did my thing, and we worked so well together, and it was so much fun. And I'm ready to do the sequel of the film, so let's get it popping.
Let's get it popping and dropping. That's what's up. Well, we'll talk more about that later on in the show. But first, in the studio, we like to start off at the beginning. Where were you born?
Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, we in there.
Chi-Town in the building.
Chi-Town in the building. What's good?
Yes.
All right. And how was the family dynamics growing up in the household?
Oh, wow. Well, where do I start? I don't know if we got enough time on this show.
It's like that.
Well, I was born to a mother who wasn't able to take care of me and a father who wasn't ready to be a father. So I was raised by my biological aunt, along with my sister, and it was different trying to put together the pieces and find out who I really was and where I came from and who was who and why everything is happening the way it is. But most of all, I had a really good upbringing. My aunt did the very best that she could, raising two kids that weren't hers. But, taking on that challenge, I give her so many mad props to that. I commend her, yes. Yeah. It was rough for us in the beginning, especially with, going to school and me and my sister have different fathers, so it was that dynamic of colorism and things of that nature. So yeah, it was tough, but overall, I survived.
Yeah, you here, right?
Right, exactly.
Did you have any nicknames growing up?
Not for them. No, I didn't get nicknames until I became an adult, and I don't know how that happened. So I'm like, okay.
So what was one of the nicknames as an adult?
Well, people just call me Daff, and I don't even know where that comes from. I mean, my name is Daffnay, but it's like, okay, people
Daff.
who I don't even really know that well call me that. I'm like, no, my name is Daffnay. You got to put in some years here.
Right. Put some respect on it.
Exactly.
So you just had your sister growing up, no other siblings or anything?
Well, I had my sister and my brother.
Okay.
It's a really interesting dynamic to say the least. But we all grew up as brother and sister. Long story short, and we are from the west side of Chicago, but we grew up in the suburbs to get a better education, of course. Yeah. And growing up in a predominantly all white neighborhood and being one of the very few black families, that was an interesting dynamic as well.
Right.
Dealing with racism and prejudice and all of that good stuff. So
quote unquote good stuff.
Exactly. Right. As a kid, you're trying to figure out, why, you can't be invited to a birthday party because you're black. You're like, wait a minute, I didn't know I was black. Somebody explain something to me. Somebody tell me what's going on.
Yeah,
right,
that's crazy. Are they still in Chicago?
Yes, all my family's in Chicago. I'm the only one that branched off and moved out and moved away.
Okay. And what is one of the biggest things, differences between LA and Chicago, you think?
Ooh, well,
I know there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. Chicago is just kind of like New York. Everybody is down to earth and willing to help you, please and thank you. LA is very surface. It has no substance really. And that's what I've kind of noticed in my journey here for 10 years. And finding genuine people is very rare because everyone's out for themselves.
Right.
And for me, I'm just like, if I can help you, in what you're trying to do, God is just going to bless me even more. So
Exactly.
there's no like competition or I need to eat and make you starve. Like that's not my mentality at all. So it's just very interesting how LA moves because I don't move that way. So, Chicago people, we move a little different.
We move a lot different. You know what I mean? It's like you come out here, it's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly, right? Rude awakening. Yeah.
Growing up on TV, did you see anyone that really inspired you to get into this industry? What were some of your favorite TV shows growing up?
Well, Family Matters, what do you call it? Fresh Prince, Saved by the Bell.
Hey. Come on, say
The Cosby Show.
Yeah.
All of those good shows that aren't on air right now, you know what I mean? They came from so many just good ideas and people that were just so talented and that was just what we watched and how we kind of like knew what was out in the world.
Right.
So those were some of my top ones that I used to
other
love.
than the nostalgia that comes with it, obviously.
Right.
There's, would you say that there's not a lot of like great black TV on right now as opposed to when you were growing up?
I don't think shows on right now really have substance. Like I said, I feel like they're just putting anything on TV to get a laugh.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people watch Netflix or Hulu and they just binge watch certain series because those series really take the talent serious and show us what we need to see as the audience. So primetime, I really don't watch that. I focus more on like series, and, like things that I would want to see myself in or how I relate to different artists that are on TV right now and how I want to see myself and people like me. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. And when you got into acting, okay, let's talk about that. When did you get so-called the actor's bug? You got bit by the bug.
Well, I remember when I was about 5 years old and I was in kindergarten at the time. And like I said before, I was in class and one of the other girls was passing out invitations to her birthday party. And I didn't receive one. And so I asked why, and she said, because you're black. And I didn't understand what that meant, seriously. And so I went home crying, asking my mother, what's wrong? Why, I don't even know what that means.
Right.
So she showed me this film called Imitation of Life.
Oh my God, that film.
Now at 5 years old, I still don't know what's going on. But I'm like, okay, so she had to explain racism to me at that young age. So and then explain everything else about my life and like what's going on and who is who and so for me acting became an escape from my real life. It became so fascinating to go into the lives of these characters and these stories and I was gifted and talented at it and I just shined at it and so that was my way of saying, okay, this is the gift that God gave me. This is what I'm supposed to do. And so ever since then, I've been doing it. So,
nice.
Yeah.
That's dope. And in school, did you do plays?
I did plays, theater. I went to college, Columbia College, majored in theater.
Yeah.
But y'all can have that degree back. Them student loans, boy. Them student loans, boy. You can have that degree back.
Right, that part.
That part. Because I could not come out here with that degree and say, give me a job. Okay, so take that right on back and erase my debt.
They don't care about none of that out here.
Exactly, right? So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to talk about just the transition from Chicago to LA. When you first got out here, what was one of the biggest challenges you ran into?
Getting acclimated to LA. Of course, I came out here a couple months prior to moving out here, found a job, found a place. LA is expensive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you gotta have like a couple hustles, a couple jobs. But I found myself just learning the people, learning the environment, learning real life versus the entertainment industry, learning who's gonna help you and who's not. those are the biggest challenges for me.
Okay.
I'm from, we from Chicago, so we're
Right.
going to survive wherever we go.
Right. That part.
It's just a matter of when and how we're going to maneuver, and that's it. So,
I feel you.
Yeah.
Definitely understand that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but your first audition in LA.
Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. Oh wow, that was back in the day.
What was going through your mind at that moment? Because I know, you're green in LA,
Right.
all that stuff, everything's new. You get into that room, what was going through your mind?
So funny thing about it is, this is how I met Choice.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So, long story short, I met Choice. Well, we'll get back to that later. And he helped me with this audition. And the audition, the character, he said, crawl in the audition. Let the character have her own, her identity, and crawl in the audition. It's like a sexual scene. And I'm like, crawl? I'm like, what you talking about? I'm like, crawling.
Like, what?
You know what I'm saying? And so it just so happens that I wasn't able to actually go in and audition, but just preparing for it and learning different ways to really make yourself stand out and be different, I was like, that's really dope. So the next time I'm able to go in somewhere, I know what to do. You know what I mean? So he was prepping me for that.
Okay.
So yeah.
And for those of you who are watching, Choice Skinner is an amazing acting coach, director, producer here in Hollywood. You can go back earlier in this season and watch his interviews.
Yes.
Great interview. Go ahead and check it out. Speaking of Choice, so we're talking about Black Lightning. And man, incredible film.
Absolutely.
For one.
Absolutely.
And growing in the ranks of views on YouTube and all that, what was it like working on that set with having a Black superhero?
Well, it was incredible because Choice, his mind works so phenomenally. He creates these stories and that normal people wouldn't even think of. And so when he did this, and I got the chance to, of course, play in it, I was astonished. I was like, he's making this stuff come to life.
Right.
And to be on set and just to see all the action packed and everything that they were doing, I'm like, wow, you guys are really creating something dope, something that people can look up to and be like, I can do that or I can be that. And then it just so happens that the CW came out with the same exact show.
Right.
And I said, excuse me? Wait a minute.
So crazy.
Exactly.
So crazy.
So, but no, it was a blessing to be on set and see Choice directing and also acting and doing everything that he does on set. It just to watch him, you're just in awe. So, yeah.
Is it now? I mean, many auditions later, work, all that stuff. Do you find yourself running into any personal demons or challenges in LA that kind of want to take you off your path?
Life. Life has a way of attacking you from every angle possible to distract you, to get you off your game. You have to learn how to balance life and your dream. And I remember the last couple years have been really, really hard just because of just changes and transitioning and evolving, and now we're in a whole new decade.
Yeah.
There has been some times where I'm like, you know what? I just, let me just go ahead and jump off Runyon real quick and let me just hike up and get a good workout, but then let me jump off that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? That you have those moments and it's real. And I'm not ashamed to talk about it because I had that moment of everything was coming at me. I didn't know how to handle it. My faith, it was there, but I'm like, God, what's going on? Just talk to me, give me a sign, give me something. And it was just too much at one time.
Right.
And so, a good friend of mine talked me through it and was like, girl, you have a purpose and, just stay in prayer. And I'm like, thank you. Cause I literally was like, this is it. They're going to see me on the news and at the bottom of Runyon with a coyote eating me or something. But yeah, I have those struggles and you're human. You have these feelings, you have these up and down moments, you have these moods. And we're in an industry that, you can't take everything anything personal, but sometimes you do, because you
Right.
know, like you're talented, and you know, you go in and you kill this audition, and then you don't get a call back, and you're like, wait, and then somebody else gets it, and you're like, they not even have talented as I am. You know, so you have those moments, but you have to just be strong enough to endure everything that you're going through, because you're going
Right.
to get through it.
Right.
You know, when they say you're going through hell, keep going so
Yeah.
you can get out of it. And your faith and your dream, you got to hold those at the forefront of every day that you get up. You have a purpose, and people are watching you. No, like, you don't even know people are watching
true.
you, but they're
Very
watching
true.
you, and you inspire them and you motivate them. And sometimes I have this super fan, Sienna. I love her to death. She followed my career on The Fosters, and I can tell you, when I'm going through it, she sends me a message that just brightens my day. And I'm like, she just knows when something is going on. And it's those moments I appreciate it, because I'm like, yes, God, thank you for sending me angels that are like protecting me and allowing me to keep going. So it's just finding that balance between life and your dream.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in LA.
For sure. I was going to
You know
say,
what I
LA, or life in general, has a way of, they don't care. They don't care if you're white, black, Chinese. They don't care. It will beat you up and spit you back out.
Yeah. It's
Especially in LA, you know. And for you, how important is it to have that tribe, that, you know, the group, the motivating, inspiring people around you, especially in this industry?
Well, you know, family is who you make your family. You know, I got blood relatives, but my family is who I've made in LA. Choice, the community of the Breaking Through Acting Workshop, God, you know what I'm saying? Those, the people that surround me and guard me and push me and allow me to keep going. And those are the people that I really hold near and dear to my heart, because there's been times where you want to give up and you want to throw in the towel, and then, you know, someone's talking you through it, or you get an audition, or you're on stage, like, you know, when we are, and you're just working through it. So it's vital to have a community of people that have your back no matter what. I mean, Choice, shout out to Choice, man. He is like my everything. I call him my everything, because he started out as a mentor, and then a teacher, and just a therapist. Like, you know you know what I'm saying? So there's times where he gets in my ass, or if I can't say that.
No, you're good. You're good.
He gets in my ass when I need it. And you know, there's times he just, you know, allows me just to vent, and he just listens. And that's important, to have that support team around you.
For sure.
So, you know, you can never give up.
Never.
You know, never.
And I just want to say thank you again for joining me here in the studio, and it's a great conversation. And also for any of those who are watching right now, or you're listening on the radio, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and share and like this video. Also, we are on the On channel, season 1, full season 1. You can go check it out at www.theonchannel.com and go ahead and stream the entire first season. Great first season. We are in second season here. Stronger and bigger than ever. We got the amazing Daffany Clark here joining us. Also, big shout out to Keven Undergaro and Maria Menounos for allowing me to bring these amazing guests in every week and share their stories with you. Thank you so much. And I want to talk about The Fosters, because 5 years on The Fosters is crazy.
Love the show.
How was working that show, being on set, and then also tell us a little bit about the character, because you played your own name, pretty much, which I thought was awesome.
This character on The Fosters derived from a character that Choice taught me in class. When he first opened his studio 10 years ago, he taught me this hardcore thug chick. He taught me how to walk. He taught me how to talk. He taught me the mannerisms of this character. And I remember he always told me, just do the work and everything else will come.
Yes.
And so for 4 years strong, I was just in class working. And then I had the audition for The Fosters, and I booked the pilot. And I was girl number 1 in juvie, beating up the main character, which I got a lot of hate mail for, because people actually really thought I hurt her.
They serious out here.
I'm like, people, it was just a character. She good. And then a year later, they wrote me into the show. with my name being my name,
Yep.
spelled differently.
So differently, right?
So I was like, that's all God,
Yes.
because who else could it be?
Right.
And I remember going to the reading and seeing my name as my name on the script, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm on the show. Like,
That's awesome.
it was unbelievable. The show, chronicles a lot of societal issues. And that's why people were able to relate to it so much. And I mean, people from like teenagers to people in their 50s. And my character was a 17-year-old juvenile delinquent who had a 2-year-old daughter in foster care. And I was like, if this does not mirror my life, I don't know what does.
So crazy.
Being raised by someone else and having that storyline in my family, I'm like, wow, this is my opportunity to really give this character life and really show them that she's so like complex and so she has such a background and history that people really need to know about. So I need to make this character evolve so they can see that she's just not a bad person, but she's been through some things, and she's going to overcome some things, and she's fighting, and she has a lot going on. So people were really rooting for the character, and they wanted to see her more and more and more. And I was like, yes, please.
Right.
Yes, please.
That part.
Own show. Spinoff. And so I was on the show for 5 years. It was such a great show, being on set and working with the other characters and becoming the main character's best friend. It was something that really kind of like propelled my career forward. And now I'm playing the similar character in John Henry.
Yes.
And I kind of had that toughness in the character in Rebel. And so I take her with me, everywhere. She's in my arsenal, so I can pull her out whenever I need to. But she basically derived from Choice Skinner.
Choice Skinner.
Everything goes back to Choice.
That guy. What was, because we do have, a lot of aspiring actors and also actors, working in industry. What's some of the things you do before an audition, and also some things you had to do, maybe rituals on set to get you ready for shooting?
Well, every day when I wake up, I pray, and I meditate. I get in alignment with my north, as Choice says, and I block everything out. Okay. The world can be on fire. I'm going to this audition.
Right.
This is my focus at this very moment, and I just, I prepare sometimes with, wardrobe, or I make sure I have my lines down the night before, but making sure that I'm embodying the character and bringing it to life. And then I just, go, and once I book the role, of course, I'm on set, but I'm focused all the time. And I'm always observing, listening, learning. You know what I mean? There's never a dull moment on set.
Never.
You're always, you can always be learning something. So for me, that's kind of the things that I do, because it's not, people remember how you are on set, not by your talent, but how you are treating people and how you are and who you are. And so that's really important as well. So
for sure. You say you have this, ritual, and you zone out, focus on the audition. How important is it to make that first good impression in the casting office?
Well, you really only have one shot. And so you don't put pressure on yourself. I'm never nervous. I'm more like anxious to go and do it. And that's what I love about going to auditions in person, is because you feel their energy, they feel your energy.
Yes.
You can make a lasting impression just by doing your work. Everything else doesn't even matter.
Right.
So I block everything out, like my phone. Nope. It's gonna be this audition, and then once that's over, then whatever, I can continue on my life. But I have to stop life in this moment to focus on this dream,
right?
Because that's ultimately why I'm here.
Exactly, that's true.
Yeah.
And John Henry, right?
Yes.
How was that audition?
That was fun, actually.
Yeah.
We went in. I went in originally, and auditioned for it. And they gave me a callback. And the callback was with producers and some of the actual actors that were going to be on set. Me not knowing that though. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna read with a group of people, cool. And so I'm reading, and then I actually had a real moment where me and this other actor get into it. And I'm like off script, like I'm like, we gonna rumble. What's up? Like, what's up? You know, Chicago.
Yeah,
you know,
you pulled it out.
Exactly. So they were like, that's what made us book you, because of that moment of you just doing what you would normally do as that character, not even, on book and reading lines. And I'm like, yeah, because somebody stepping to me, I'm like, what's up? Like, It's either me or you. That's how the streets really are. That's how this gang life is. So let's just really make it real so the people can relate to it. So yeah,
that's nice. taking that risk, and just making it happen.
You have to take risks. You have to be who you are. You have to stand in your truth, and you have to give them something that they've never seen before. You know what I mean? That's what makes you different, and that's what makes you stand out.
Noted, y'all listening? No. And also, so what was one of your favorite moments on set with John Henry?
The day I met Ludacris, they told me that he had seen my work prior to meeting him, and that was very humbling.
Nice.
He gave me my props, and I was like, thank you so much. We shot this movie in the hood, okay? And being from the west side of Chicago, I know what the hood is.
They got you a plaster on there.
All that blood.
You know what the hood is,
yes,
right?
Yes, I know what the hood is, but in LA, it's a little different, right?
Yeah, it's a little
so
different.
we have this scene in the house where it's me, Terry Crews, and Ludacris, and I got a gun on Terry, and I'm supposed to shoot at him, right? And so before the scene, I'm like, can I go in the backyard and fire a few rounds? They're like, no, you can't. We're not in that area where you can do so. I was like, wait, what you mean? You just want me to shoot a gun randomly on set? They were like, yes. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So the gun kept jamming the first and second time. The third time it went off, I screamed like a little girl, and I walked off set. I was like, oh my God! And mind you, I'm supposed to be this hardcore gangster
went right
chick.
out the door.
Right out the door. I'm like, oh my God! I was so embarrassed because I have Ludacris and Terry Crews. I'm like, I'm so embarrassed. I just did that. Oh my God! I screamed like a little girl. So that was like a real a memorable moment, but it was so funny. I laugh about that every time I think about it.
That is hilarious.
Yes, because I'm not really like I'm not a gun person, but if I have to, I will.
Right.
But make sure it don't jam.
Were you a fan of Ludacris, like music before
I listened to it in high school.
Yeah.
I've seen his acting work as well. But I'm not really like a fan.
Yeah.
I'm more of like an admirer. Like if I think you're dope, you know what I'm saying, I'll be a supporter and things of that nature. But I'm not like oh my God, it's so and so. Like,
who are you like? Do you get fangirl like to anyone? Would you say if you worked with someone on set, who would that be that you would just lose it to?
Probably Viola Davis,
or
Cicely Tyson,
or
Meryl Streep, or Denzel. Yeah.
That'll do it.
I'll be like, oh my God. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Just because their work speaks for itself.
Of course.
And to be on set and to work with them is a dream of mine. So, and that's gonna happen. Cicely Tyson, you just hold on.
Cicely, just stay in there, because we gonna be there.
Just stay in this industry a little longer, because I need you.
She quoted by saying she's never gonna do anything else. So it's like this is what she's doing. I'm like, this is amazing. I actually had the privilege. It was a blessing to listen to her and Maya Angelou speak in St. Sabina Church in Chicago, and my God, amazing, just amazing.
It's just the wisdom, and the knowledge,
right?
That pours out of them.
You're like, what am I doing with my life?
Exactly, no, right? You start to question and analyze everything. You're like, wait a minute, let me start over. Let me get reborn.
Right. I want to talk about for a little bit where Black Hollywood is going. Okay. I mean, I'm sure you've heard the latest speech by Joaquin Phoenix about there need to be more done. About he also blames himself. It's their responsibility that's given this privilege to make this happen. What are your opinions on that speech, and then where do you think Black Hollywood is going?
I commend him for the speech. I think it's very true. It's been this way for a very long time. I believe black actors have been fighting just to be seen and heard for many, many years.
Yes.
You know, the Oscars only give a a black person an Oscar every 20 years or something. And so for me, it's not like I strive to win an Oscar. If I win one, great. I'm gonna pass the torch to the person coming behind me. But I believe there's so many black actors that need to be recognized and acknowledged just for their work alone. I don't really like the whole Black Hollywood thing because it's a separation.
Yes.
And Hollywood makes it really, really difficult to even be in it. You know what I mean? It is a struggle to be an actor.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of sacrifice and a lot of tough skin and to be the chosen ones to do this. Like, I don't think anybody wakes up and say, I just wanted to pick the most unstable career in the world.
Man.
Not know where my next meal is going to come from and or how I'm going to pay my rent.
Right.
Nobody says that,
no.
right?
So no one ever.
Exactly. So when it chooses us, and this is our, what we're supposed to be doing in life, and now we have to fight against, an industry that is supposed to embrace us, is very, very difficult. It's long overdue. I think we should stop talking about it and actually do something about it.
Amen.
Everybody wants to open up a conversation, but let's open some doors.
Yeah.
Let's get some roles going. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we need to be doing. Like, there's been enough talk. We know that there's a problem.
Right.
Now, where's the solution?
Right.
So I'm glad he said something, finally.
Right.
But what's next?
Exactly. What are we going to do about it?
We're going to pass this around on Instagram. Great.
Right.
Now,
that part.
Next?
Everybody
you know what I'm
passing
saying?
on
Like,
there.
who's going to get the role next? You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I also love how you said, you don't really believe in the Black Hollywood and regular, because likewise, I just think Hollywood is Hollywood.
Right.
But there's a lot of different perspectives on it. And I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
For a long time, especially when Eddie Murphy was coming up, and those days, it was technically like Black Hollywood because they had to create their own name. They had to bring their own, themselves up because Hollywood wouldn't.
Right.
So, but yeah, I completely agree with you. Hollywood is Hollywood, and I think that we are moving forward. Who's some of your favorite Black filmmakers out there right now who are really like changing the game?
Wow. Troy Skinner.
There you go.
The reason why I say that is because, and I believe there's some really great films. When They See Us was really good.
Yes.
Ava DuVernay.
Yes.
Lena Waithe with Queen and Slim. But making your own content that represents yourself is so uber important. Creating something that is in your own lane that you can, your own roles is important because that's how people are going to see you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't, fight to get into the door somewhere to shuck and jive for someone else. Do it for yourself, you know what I mean? And then they will come to you. So I love films that people make that have a message, that are inspiring, that is true to what we're going through in the world right now.
Right.
That everybody can relate to. It's great to have fantasy films and films that you can escape life from. That's great. But what are we really doing with our artistry? How are we making a difference? How are we impacting the world?
Right.
That's the type of stuff I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Change the game and do something different.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that. Well, before we get into our special segments, I want to ask you, who's someone that you would like to work with, say, in the next couple years? And I want an actor and an actress and a filmmaker. So 3 people would you like to work with in the next couple years?
Spike Lee as a filmmaker. Definitely Denzel. What was the other one? Filmmaker, actor.
Actor and actress.
Viola, for sure.
Viola. Okay.
But you know who I really want to work with? People in the Breaking Through Acting Workshop.
Hey, come on.
There are so many talented people. When I tell you, from Amber to Kendra to Janessa to everybody in the class that's just holding it down. They are amazing, and to be in class with them every Monday night and seeing their work and being like, well, you can be on set doing just what they're doing. Like, it's just like, yo, this is pretty dope.
Yeah.
So I would, you know, Lena Waithe always said, was it Lena? Issa Rae. She said, you know, a network across, not try to network up.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of, I think, as the BTAW, we can really do some stuff because we're all very talented. So I want to work with the people that I'm currently working with,
right,
but also include the people that I do admire that have been in the game for a while. So
of course.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
We are going to head into our special segment, okay?
Oh, boy.
Are you ready?
I don't know.
All right, so as you know, the Oscars are this weekend. Oscar weekend, right? Mm-hmm, yep. So, you know, it's a lot of celebrities and huge people are going to be in town this weekend. But I want to pay homage to our people, okay?
Okay, well, how many of our people are actually being at the Oscars?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
That part. But I want to do like a little trivia, okay? So I'm going to ask you 5 questions of Oscar Black trivia, okay? Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. This is them all multiple choice, okay?
Praise Lord, praise God. Because I'll be like,
So don't feel bad. Okay. First question.
Yes.
Who was the first Black person to win an Oscar? Ethel Waters, Georgette Harvey, Nat King Cole, or Hattie McDaniel?
Hattie McDaniel.
Hey, come on, there you go.
I'm like, who are they? What? Who are they? I know Nat King Cole, but I gotta do some research tonight.
Yeah.
You gonna send me on with some homework?
Yes, first, Hattie McDaniel, first Black person to win an Academy Award.
Absolutely.
As playing Mammy in Gone with the Wind. All right, second question.
Mm-hmm.
Angela Bassett has been in at least 43 movies.
Jesus.
That's a lot.
That's an
Crazy.
accomplishment. Yes,
How many
God.
nominations does she have? 5, 4, 2, or 1? Like you gonna get the answer out of my eyes? You just stared.
I'm gonna say 1.
Hey, 2 for 2. Good job.
What's love got to do with it? Wasn't it? Wasn't it? Did she? Yeah, something like that.
No.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
She
You're
should've
good.
won for that.
You're good. She
Okay,
should have. Yes.
Huh.
Angela Bassett has received 1 Academy Award nomination as playing the iconic Tina Turner in 1994's What's Love Got to Do with It?
She should have won that.
Correct. All right, third question. Which of these musicians have not received an Oscar for Best Original Song? John Legend, Beyonce, Common, Chicago, or 3 6 Mafia?
Beyonce.
Final answer?
Wait, nope.
Wait, nope.
Wait, no, I know 3 6 Mafia got an Oscar. You said which one of them
Has never
got an Oscar?
Yeah, you go with your gut.
Beyonce.
Beyonce is correct. You were so worried. You got 3 out of 3 so
Because
far.
you had me second guessing. I'm like, wait a minute.
Don't
His eye
listen to me.
twitching. Let me look at
No, that is correct. Beyonce has never received or been nominated for Best Original Song. 3 6 Mafia won her Hustle and Flow.
Right.
John Legend and Common both won for Selma's Glory.
Yep.
So, moving on to fourth question. You ready?
Yes.
Who is the first and only Black actor to have received 2 acting nominations in the same year? Jamie Foxx, Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, or Whoopi Goldberg? 2 nominations in the same year.
Wait, what are my options again? Denzel.
Jamie Foxx, Denzel, Whoopi Goldberg, or Viola Davis?
I'm gonna say Whoopi.
Sorry.
Who is it?
Jamie Foxx.
Really?
Jamie Foxx is the first and only Black actor to receive 2 acting nominations in the same year for Ray and Collateral. All right.
I knew that. I was making sure you knew
You're
that.
just making sure I do. Last and final question, okay?
Okay.
You're doing pretty well. 3 3-1, okay? Which film was the first to feature black nominees for both Best Actor and Best Actress? All right? Fences. Sounder. What's Love Got to Do with It? Or Carmen Jones?
What you know about Sounder?
What
you know about,
come on,
what
Cicely.
you know about Sounder?
Come on. What you think?
I think it's between What's Love Got to Do with It and Sounder. I think.
Okay. All right. So we'll get down those two.
Am I close?
You are very close.
Are one of those the answer?
Very close.
Are one of those the answer?
I'm saying very close. You just trying to squeeze it.
I'm going to say What's Love Got to Do with It. Wait. No, I'm going to say Sounder. Wait.
Which one?
I need you to stop looking like that.
I'm just going to look away.
I'm gonna say What's Love Got to Do with It.
Go with your gut. What's
love
Love Got to Do with It?
Yes.
Sounder.
Sounder.
Sounder. Yes.
Dang.
Man.
Because it would have been
Cicely Tyson and Paul Winfield.
Yeah, I know, but it would have been Lawrence Fishburne and
Angela Bassett. Yeah,
right.
It was close. So you were very close. So Cicely Tyson and Paul Winfield
Okay,
both
3 out of 5
received 1972 Oscar nominations for Best Actor and Best Actress. 3 out of 5. That's amazing. And you were worried.
I'm still worried. I got some homework.
Great job. Great job.
Thank you. Okay.
And so this is the final part of this show where we do fast round questions. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. You tell me first thing that comes to mind. Okay. I don't want no thinking. I don't want no contemplating. Okay. First thing that comes to mind. Ready? What's your favorite word?
Jesus.
Hey, come on. What's your least favorite word?
No.
Something that turns you on.
Beautiful black men.
Hey, come on. You're looking at one. No.
I was gonna say that because let me tell you something about this man right here, guys. Okay, just pause. I've had the pleasure of working with him on stage. You are talented, my brother. You really are. To watch you on stage every Monday night and to have worked with you, boy.
I appreciate it. And likewise.
Thank you, boy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. All right, what's something that turns you off?
People.
Let
me tell you why. I'll be perfectly fine in my house. It's when I gotta enter the world and deal with people. I'll be like, no, I cannot today. Going back in my house. I can't. No.
Something we all want to say, but don't do it.
Like, people are crazy.
People. Right, that part. Oh my God, it's hilarious. What's a sound or noise that you love?
Cash App, Venmo.
Hey, give me that ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Rummy
there
them
it
ducats,
is.
rummy them ducats.
Right. What's a sound or noise that you hate?
The thing in your house that goes, smoke detector. Irks my nerves. Irks my nerves.
That's annoying. What profession other than your own would you like to participate in?
Low key, I think stripping is fascinating.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Don't judge me.
I'm not. No judgment.
Okay.
No
Because
judgment.
everybody.
You want to give us a little tease right now, or no?
I'd fall off that pole so quick. Listen, but it's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
It is really interesting because it takes a lot of technique to work a pole,
Yeah.
and then to dance, and then to extract money from men's pockets.
We saw J-Lo this past Sunday
Exactly.
doing it all. I was like, come on, hustling.
Exactly. I was like, wow. Yes.
And what profession would you absolutely not participate in?
Being a garbage man.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
I can't do it. The stench and smells that come from the garbage.
Oof, that's rough.
I couldn't do it.
And last but not least, heaven exists. You get up to God. What would you like to hear him say to you?
You did well, my child.
You did do well.
You did well.
You did. And so just very short or very quickly, I would like to this is where I give my guests a spotlight for a second and just go ahead and tell the audience one last final word before we wrap up here.
Oh, okay. Live your dream, walk in your purpose, and always keep your faith at the forefront.
Hey, very well said.
Thank you.
Daffney, I'd like to thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my God, it was a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure
Oh my
having you
God,
on the
this is
show.
so fun. Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, everyone, for out there watching. Remember, go ahead and give us thumbs up, like, share, comment, and it's been a pleasure. I love bringing you these amazing guests. Shout out to Keven Undergaro and Maria Nunos. Also, go ahead and check out full season 1 on www.theon channel. You can go ahead and stream and catch up. And Daffney, where could they find you?
Social media. I'm on Instagram as DaffMC29, Facebook DaffMC, and Twitter Daffany M. Clark.
Yes.
So many names. So many handles.
Go ahead, keep up with this one right here.
Thank you, my
and
love.
you can find me everywhere at I am Danny Royce. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week, same place, same time, here inside the Black Actor Studio. Stay blessed.
Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content. And be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.